wondering what is underneath that tarpaulin, but we're going to find out right now. Because here at Casterbridge is the motorcycle museum, and there's a bike here that has come in that is going to be restored, and Fred is going to tell us about it. So how's it, Fred? How are you?
I'm good, and you? Nice to have you back.
Good, man. Come on. What has happened here? What's arrived at the museum?
Okay, this is an AJS 1959 500cc. It's
Wait,
actually
a what?
AJS.
I've never heard of a
AJS.
bike like that.
Yeah, it's a British make. They come back from early 1920s.
Yeah?
And this is one 1959 500cc.
Yeah?
This is actually a project that the owner of the centre got it.
Yes.
And we're doing it as a museum project.
Yes.
So, you know, it's a project for the museum, a challenge for us.
Yes, like 500cc, eh?
Yeah, now you can see it's got a big head on it.
It looks like that's got a much longer stroke than the normal 500cc's we are always accustomed to seeing. Huh?
Yeah, it has got a long stroke, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's...
Were there a lot of 500cc's made at this time?
Yes, there were a hang of a lot. It was a popular size. So remember in those years, you didn't get like today where you got all these big capacity motorcycles.
Yes.
You know, there was more the middle class 350, 500s, and then also they went over to 650s and so forth.
Yeah, and they would have to kick their legs
yeah, there was
to get
no
this thing to go.
Self-starters in those days. You were the self-starter.
But now listen, how on earth are you going to find the parts for this bike, and what is your plans? How are you going to go about restoring it?
First of all, I'm getting all the parts together that we short, and then we'll start from the side and say, okay, we're taking it apart, have the frame and the mudguards blasted, painted, and clean up all the items, which I can show you. We've actually, just as an example, we've done some of them.
Oh, you have
There's
started,
rear brake backing plate,
which
we've cleaned up nicely, and we've taken and just undercoated it so long.
Okay. What else have you got here?
This is the carburetor, which we've restored already. So that's, if you look at that, I'll show on the bike now as well.
How much similarities, what can the guys recognize that is similar to what you're accustomed to seeing in a carburetor?
First of all, name English-wise, Amel was a major manufacturer for carburetors.
Yes.
Your float bowl, your slide,
and
what's the name, tube on the end here, where the intake is.
So you're actually telling me that not much has really changed in terms of the structure of a carburetor?
No, not carburetor-wise, no. Yeah, they've gone fuel injection now, but actual carburetor workings stay the same. If I can show you here on this side, you can get an idea then. There's just a sample to show you what you're looking at on the motor once it's cleaned up.
Oh, I see, like this here.
Yeah,
okay,
that will be the finish, and that is actually vapor blasted. It's not painted.
What does vapor blasted mean?
That's when you do blasting, very similar to sandblasting, but you use water and glass beads under pressure, and it actually polishes the surface. It doesn't embed the surface, and that will give you the finish on the aluminium bits.
Okay.
It seals the surface off. But like you say, there's a lot of work, but start from the side and you take a little bite at each section. And, like the rims. I mean, if you look at that back one, you'll see that it's rusted right through.
Yes, and if it's rusted right through on a rim, how are you going to deal with that? You have to get another rim.
Yeah, I can show you. There's one standing there. I've got a second-hand rim we're going to use. So we'll be stripping that wheel, replating the spokes, blasting the hub, and then we're reconditioning this wheel, which will go onto the bike. So far we've sourced the cover for the side here, the transmission cover.
Where did you find that?
That also through our contacts. We have a whole lot of contacts through the country, and when you need something, we help each other in that. And so we've actually got quite a bit of parts for already which are missing, which are on their way. And then we can start with the restoration and the paintwork and all that sort of stuff.
Tell me, your dials and speed, and is this all going to work again, do you think?
Yes, no, everything will be back to the way it was, all working condition.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't help, you restore it and, part of it is just for show, it doesn't work.
And what are you going to do about the saddle?
Well, the saddle, we'll use the same pan, the steel pan, but we'll redo the cover and the padding that goes under it.
Yeah.
So that'll also be, we've got a very good sample, you see, this is the original one. So when you've got a good sample like that, then it makes it a lot easier to make one.
2 weeks ago we spoke about the oil, in that tank, it was this interesting thing about how the oil, is that the same?
On this one you've got an oil tank here, which feeds to the motor, so it also runs what they call a dry sump. So your oil will go in down the bottom there, the feed and the return. Whereas the Indian had the oil in the main tank with the with the split tank with the petrol. So this one's just got a separate oil tank on the side.
I noticed the Indian, they didn't seem to have the concept of shocks, and now is this one of the first shocks, or is this kind of advanced already?
Yeah, this was, when they came into the 20s and that, they had girder forks, etc., like the Indians one. Then they went on to get the telescopic type fork. And, in the 30s, 40s, around about there, they went to a telescopic type fork, which was an advancement on
Describe a telescopic, is there not...
Yeah, telescopic fork has got a spring inside that does the damping, and it's got oil. So you get a better damping system to the girder forks had a link type suspension.
So you say the AJS is going to be part of the museum. So, but I believe there's some changes coming to the museum. What's going to happen?
Yes, this is the old bike museum. For those that have been here, it's at the moment it's very mixed up and muddled up. You can see we're busy packing up stuff, getting ready to move to the new section, which we'll show you now. And so yeah, it's very exciting. What we're going to do is like the corner here. We're going to take all the dirty work out to another workshop, and we're going to have a section here which is a beautiful classic workshop, call it. Wooden panels with old tools on it, etc. 2 stands. One will have the Indian, which you've seen on some of the clips. The other one will have the museum AJS on. And so people can see how we're going along with the project, because like the AJS, it'll take a couple of years to get it finalized. But yeah, then people can see the progress of the project nicely. We'll have a selection, classic Japanese bikes, English bikes, Italian bikes across the board. So we'll have some from the 30s right through to the late 70s, 80s, because that's basically our classics that we've got. And there'll be some beautiful bikes which we'll show you closer to the time.